I'm going to talk about sweet peas, how to get them started. A couple of the jobs you have to do to get the best out of them. And due to the magic of cinema, I'm going to go backwards and plant the seeds when I've freed up this root trainer. So this is the root trainer system. Comes in a pack. You can see the idea is that you close up like so. Soil and seeds in there. And then they each fit nicely in the holder. It does work actually, it's a bit plasticky and it's a bit possibly fiddly, but you do get do seem to get good results with the sweet peas anyway, like so. So that's already. So we're just going to do 16 today. Sweet peas will almost always germinate and will usually do very well. At this stage, with little in the way of care really. It's later on that the whole thing becomes rather labour intensive. There's a job to do every single day while the peas are growing, basically just to keep taking flowers, training the plant to do what you want it to do. I think what I'll do at this stage is put the seeds in. That's about the right depth. I'm about to call them seeds or peas. They're peas actually, aren't they? So we'll plant up 4 confetti, which is a lovely mixed flower, mixed coloured. Oops. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of April. Keep a record of what I've planted on the seed envelope. And now I'll just cover them maybe 2 centimeters down. I'll give them a water and I'll just put them in the polytunnel to get on with it. There we have it. So what I've got here is sweet peas in 2 stages of development. Sweet peas are a hardy annual, which means they can survive frost. And for hardy annuals, you can plant them in the autumn to get a march on next season's growth, because they will survive the winter, they'll survive frosts. So what I've got here is plants in 2 stages. These were planted back in November, and in fact I've already planted some of them out in the smaller polytunnel, and they're growing along nicely. These are waiting for the new polytunnel, so I've had to keep them in the nursery pots rather too long, so these are growing away. These were planted only 5 weeks ago, so these are this season's growth. They're not doing particularly well, but they will come on nicely. The 2 things I want to show you are at this stage, and we'll do it to these now, is stopping. And what stopping is to prevent apical growth. So this plant will want to send all its energy to the apex, and will grow on and grow on and grow on, which is okay, but what we would prefer is that there were more shoots, because more shoots means more flowers. So it's a standard practice with sweet pea to so-called stop them, which means to cut through the primary stem, which will stimulate growth below. And we'll have a look at the November plants, because they've already been stopped, and show you what happens when you do so. So I think we'll do that now. You can see here where the plant, where I've cut through the stem. So that was a single stem, rather like that, and I've cut it. And having cut it, it obviously prevents the apical growth, but it stimulates growth further down. So what we've got here is 2 shoots, which have been stimulated by me making that cut. Same thing here, there's the cut, 2 shoots. Sometimes you get more. On this one, hopefully the camera's still in view. There's the cut, 2 shoots. So each of these plants have been stopped. We will today transfer these into pots, because the new polytunnel is not ready for another maybe 2 weeks, and really they've outgrown these starter pots. One thing about these are in what's called root trainers, which are specially made for sweet peas. Whether they make a big difference, I really don't know, but we've got these things. I don't like throwing plastic away, so I reuse them each season. So I'm going to stop these first, and then we'll come back to take the plants out of the root trainer, so you can have a look at those and see what they're about. So here's our 5-week-old plant, batch of plants, and we're going to stop them. So classically, you wait for three lots of leaves, and then stop it above. So 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, just stop. And do them in order so you don't miss one. That plant's too young, too poorly developed, so is that one. 1, 2, 3, I think I'll go to there. stop. 1, 2, 3. This is where somebody comments, you missed one, you missed one. That was the one I missed. 1, 2, 3. So these will go back into the propagation area, and we'll start to put some shoots out, and we'll actually get them in the ground fairly soon, within the next, say, fortnight. Now for these guys, show you how the root trainer works. They're in compartments, 4 in each. And they have a little bit of magic. They open up. Like so. And you can see really nicely in this case, the theory about root trainers is that the roots will not splay outwards in a random way, but they will, they're trained to follow these grooves, so that this is said to be more satisfactory for further growth. It really, as I said before, I don't know if they make a big difference or not. A nice plant to take on to the next stage. Well, that would normally go straight in the ground now. To take it forward, like I said before, I'm having to do a little stopgap where I will plant these into larger pots, and then I'll plant the larger pot, or the plant from the larger pot when the polytunnel's ready. These are the deepest pots I could find. They are peas. They grow rapidly. They need some depth. I'll water these up once we're all ready. And final job here is to give them some support. It's good to tie them up. Well, you have to tie them up because they've got no support for themselves, so it's one of the jobs you do as you go along with sweet peas, is to keep tying them up as they grow. Most plants will benefit from having their shoots at the top, because the way that the plant physiology is organised, the shoot at the top wants to grow straight upwards. If it's on its side, the side shoots will have a tendency to grow up. They grow very, very high. You know, they're going to grow to 12 foot high and then keep growing, because you have to do something about the fact that they want to grow high, 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 high. There's different ways of coping with that and keep them under control. I'll get on and do the rest of these now. off camera. So here we have it, sweet peas in 3 different stages of development. We've just put some seeds in today, peas in today. These are plants which we planted 5 weeks ago. I've reached this stage and we've stopped them. We've cut the apical growth on each one, which will make the plant bushier because the shoots below will now be stimulated to grow. And these guys were planted back in November, so they've come through the winter and they've reached the stage where they really want to be in the ground. But I've put them temporarily into these pots just to keep them going until they can be planted out in the new polytunnel. As they grow and things get, the jobs become necessary, I'll do some videos if there's interest to take them through the season.